everyone. What I'd like to do is see if COVID is airborne because we're getting all kinds of information now where one gentleman went to a few nightclubs and infected 100 people just by going to a few nightclubs in one night, which makes you wonder how in the world could one person do that if you're supposed to have to be within 6 feet of that person to catch COVID. And, it just doesn't quite make sense, does it? So I thought we'd do a reading on how far COVID actually is catchy. So I'm just going to lay my cards down here. I don't know in this one if you're going to be able to see all my cards. You just probably aren't going to be able to, but we'll just go with it. And hopefully those of you who like to see all the cards will be okay with this one time that I can't show them all. It's just a weird position that my camera's in. And I did order a new camera, so that should get here soon, and hopefully things will be easier with my readings. Just using this standard Rider-Waite deck. If you haven't seen me read before, what I do is I lay my cards all out. Then I ask my question. I always do kind of a little, I guess it's like a prayer beforehand, and just ask for guidance. And then I pull my cards, and I pull my cards by running my hand over them. And I get a feel for which card is the right card. And that feeling is often warm and magnetic feeling. And then I pull that card and we read it. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm just going to go, is it catchy within say, 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet? And we've got one study out of Wuhan, I believe, that said within 14 feet people were catching it at a restaurant. So let me just go ahead and ask, what about within 10 feet? Tell me about coronavirus and if it's catchy within 10 feet. Okay, so I'm getting an answer right in here. Within 10 feet. Okay, so that's that one. And then I'm going to ask about it being catchy within 20 feet. If you're in the same room with somebody and you're 20 feet away, could you catch COVID? How about COVID within 20 feet of someone? And I'm just running my hand over the cards. I know you can't really see what I'm doing right here. But then when I get the feeling like I've got the right card, I just pull them out and I then run my hands over those to figure out which one it is. And within 20 feet, I've got right here, I'm going to take both of these cards. Sometimes I get a story within the cards, and that happens when I get two often. So how about within 30 feet of being in the same room? And again, I have a hit right over here. So we're going to pull these out, and we're going to read them. And we're going to find out which one was our within 30 feet. And it's that one right here. Okay, and then I'm just going to ask a question, a general question. Is COVID airborne, to where it can just spread in the air and just kind of go with the air and stop where it goes? So is COVID airborne and just goes with the air? Because they're trying to say the droplets usually fall to the ground. Okay, it's this card right here. So we'll see what the cards have to say about that, because I just am not convinced they know what the situation is. This was our card. Is it spreadable within 10 feet? Well, that's definitely a yes. That is a, yeah, we're having a good time. Having fun. This is definitely a yes card. So within 10 feet, you can contract COVID. I see for sure. Let's do our within 20 feet. And this was one that we got two cards. So we've got the Four of Swords. And we've got, is that the Page of Pentacles? Yeah, the Page of Pentacles. So I'm going to just take a look at those two. It looks like within 20 feet, this person's resting. So, okay, I'm going to say it is catchy if the person is sort of bedbound and sick. Two people that are working by that person is what I'm seeing in these cards. So this tells me at some points it's more catchy than others. And I think when it gets to the point that you are bedridden, that's really what this can stand for, this Four of Swords. And these people are working, the Page of Pentacles, maybe the nurses and what have you, the orderlies, I think it's probably highly contagious to them, even at 20 feet, at that stage where people are that affected to where they're bedridden from it. So then let's move on to 30 feet, and that was this card. Well, 30 feet, we've got the Four of Pentacles. That's kind of a greedy card. So at that point, I'm going to say it's not as catchy. And I say that because this person's got all their pentacles and they're holding them close to them. So instead of like giving them away, if it was something where I saw, kind of, we're all sharing and having a great time, right? In this one, which was 10 feet away. But I'm not seeing that in here. Do you see how these cards are almost the opposite? This one's like everybody's sharing, have a good time. This guy's like holding his money really, really close to him, holding what he's got. And I've often had pentacles stand for COVID. I just think those little circles right here in this card are perfect examples of the virus. And it comes through as those little pentacles for me often. So I'm saying 30 feet, no. I'm going to say once you get to about 30 feet away, probably not. So is it airborne and traveling on the air? Well, I think people are taking it with them is the problem. Not necessarily that it's just going off in the air by itself, but I think people are spreading it, and I'm going to say these people are leaving one area and going to another. And see all these swords? That's them taking something with them. And it's something that's not... Sorry about my clock. I'll give it just a second here. So what they're taking with them is something that has them, look at them. They look sad and disappointed. And so, yes, in a way, I think COVID can be airborne in long distances because people are carrying it with them. And then, so they're carrying it to other places. And I think it's actually being carried maybe on them and on their clothes, on their shoes, and spreading that way. So I'm not going to say it's just in the air and going. I'm going to say people are the transmitters and that it is being taken other places. Instead of just in the air, it's people and how people go all over the place now. So that is my reading. I'm seeing the 6 in here too. That 6 feet is what a lot of people say. So I do think people are taking it beyond 6 feet, but they're the ones who are doing it. And it's happening pretty easy. They think they've left it behind, but they haven't. It's coming with them. So that's my reading. It looks like if I were to say definitely 10 feet when people are at their worst, yes, it can spread up to 20 feet. And maybe it's spreading within the healthcare workers too. I saw these like workers, the page, the orderlies perhaps. Accidentally spreading it. 30 feet, no. People are keeping it to themselves at that point. And is it spreading in the air? Not so much. It's more, people taking it beyond where they are and then it coming off of them in a new place, I think is what's happening. So thanks for listening, guys. Be careful, hey? That's what we all have to do. Take care. Bye.